Welcome back to the channel. Today I am making a video for people who are emotionally intense, highly sensitive people. I've done a video about HSPs before. This is based on a book I'm currently reading by an author called Imi Lo. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And I stumbled across this book a while back when I was struggling, okay? All the time, to accept the way I was, sensitive, felt vulnerable all the time, felt like everyone was judging me, I felt like I didn't fit in. I still feel that way, by the way, I hadn't gone away. I always felt different, like the outsider in a group. I always felt very overwhelmed. I didn't want to do the traditional things that most people seem to do, like, oh, it's the weekend, let's go get fucking hammered, let's get drunk. Partly because I don't tolerate alcohol, I don't tolerate caffeine or any stimulants, but it just seemed pointless. It seemed like a waste of time. I was asking the bigger questions. Why are we here? What am I meant to do with my one life? Questioning stuff morally, ethically, hence why I went vegan for 4 years. The only reason I stopped was because my health was playing up. It's still something bad with that. Like, I'm always questioning, should I go back to being vegan? Because from a health point of view, I don't buy into it being healthy like a lot of vegans recommend, but the animals are treated horrendously and I love animals, so it's a very difficult one. But that's just an example anyway. This chapter that I'm going to touch on is about chronic shame. Now, every emotion has a purpose. You might question, what is the benefit of feeling angry? It can be a negative emotion, right? It's not like you're peaceful and content and happy, which we all want to feel. We would love to feel those emotions all the time or as much as possible, but when it comes down to something like anger or sadness, question, why do I feel this way? Why is the human mind so fucking hard to deal with? But for example, with anger, it can give you a lot of power and strength. And anger is a natural response to injustice. You might be being bullied, for example, and you feel angry. A lot of victims who are being bullied would feel angry, even if they're small and they don't have the ability to take on the person that is, ruining their life. The anger makes them fucking ready for a fight. It makes them ready to defend themselves because they're in a situation where they have to think about their survival. In the worst cases, that bullying could lead to their bodily harm, or mental scarring more likely, I guess. Sadness, you might think, well, that is pointless. Why would I feel sad for? Why can't we just feel, good all the time? I mean, if you didn't feel sad, and some people maybe don't, you'd be labelled a sociopath or a psychopath. But sadness is, again, just part of it. I know with any amount of love that you have for somebody or a pet or an animal, it's equally going to be filled with sadness one day when something bad happens to them. If they get sick or they die, you're going to feel sad. Now, sadness helps you to mourn and eventually let go, because you can't cry forever, you can't be sad forever. Shame can be helpful for the right people. Let's give a couple of examples. So one, if you bullied someone and you thought, oh, it's just a bit of fun, me and my mates, we're the popular ones at school, we just call this spotty kid, pizza face, pepperoni head. Pepperoni head. Don't call anyone pepperoni head who has acne, man. They don't need to hear that. But you kind of get a bit of pleasure almost from making someone feel bad. But you don't realise this person is deeply affected. They try not to show it at school where you're picking on them. One day, you go to school and the headmaster says, right, everyone in the main hall right now, Jim, who was here, killed himself last night. We've been made aware there's some bullying. We're going to talk to those that we believe might be responsible in part for Jim taking his own life. Now, if you're one of the people picking on pepperoni head Jim, you're suddenly going to feel ashamed. You're going to, oh my fucking God, I didn't realize that he was on the edge. I didn't realize we were going to drive him to suicide. I should not have said the stuff I did. Or maybe it was worse. You could have said worse stuff than that. That's one example. Can I think of another example? I think you get the point. Shame can be helpful, right? You do something to upset somebody or an animal. Again, in my opinion, animals should always be thrown into the examples. Then you should feel bad as a way of learning, yeah? If you smash your mum's antique plate that her dead mother bought for her, you're not going to throw a baseball in the fucking house again, right? You should feel a sense of shame because you've affected someone. Shouldn't affect other people in a negative way when we can avoid it. Of course, not a perfect world. There will always be war. I'm not being unrealistic. But it does help to be better people. Chronic shame, however, is not helpful at all, and it's often something that the wrong people experience. And by that I mean, you haven't done anything wrong. You haven't hurt anybody. Definitely not deliberately anyway. You didn't mean to cause harm. But you feel ashamed of yourself. You're out there walking around in public and some people cross you. They don't say anything, or maybe they do. They say hi. But in your mind, your socially anxious, awkward, ashamed mind, you think, oh, I bet they think I'm a dickhead. For no reason. I bet they think I'm ugly, because I am ugly. And it's a really strong sense that this is fact. Not just my opinion or the way I feel. Fact. I'm ugly. I'm stupid. I'm not funny. I'm not anything good. I'm just average. I'm not even average. I'm worse than other people. And this will really affect you, yeah? You might have all the potential in the world. There might be glimpses of that at times where you realize, I do have some talent, I can work hard and I can achieve my goals. However, unless you address this feeling that's so deep within your core that you suck, that you're shit, then you'll never progress. Oh, Stefan, or you, whatever your name is. We've noticed your performance has been pretty good at work, and we'd like to offer you a promotion. Ah, okay. Now, what your mind might do in that situation is, first off, similar to if you receive a compliment, you'll dismiss it. What? Me? No, I don't deserve a promotion. I'm just doing my job, If anything, I'm pretty shit at my job and you just haven't realised it yet. Or you'll turn it down. I mean, you might say yes. You might go, oh yeah, the extra money would be good and, it's good to move up in the world. But a large part of you will be filled with fear because you think, oh, if I take the promotion, people will realise then that I suck. You have often got this, what's it called? This sense of imposter syndrome. Syndrome. You know what I mean. Imposter syndrome. You may have heard of it before. I have this all the time for no reason, right? Sometimes it will really crop up. I have to go on important work meetings halfway across the country to see clients that bring in a lot of money for the company I work for. It ruins me for a day or two. The anxiety, the feeling of, again, shame really, that I'm shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Everyone's going to realise in this meeting how fucking useless I am, and they're going to fire me, or I'm going to say something wrong, and they go, oh, Stefan, sorry, we made a mistake hiring you. Whereas the evidence doesn't suggest that at all. Each meeting I have never goes as I would fear it in my mind. I mean, the emotions are there, the anxiety's there, so I feel awful during and after. But factually, no one's gone, oh, Stefan shouldn't be here. Stefan isn't worthy of being in this office or doing this job or whatever. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. If you have this as a problem for you, it will fuck your life up, man. And it's so not based on reality. You could look at Jack Black, right? Hilarious guy. Charismatic, witty. What a guy. I mean, you might not like him. School of Rock, one of my favourite films of all time. Got to be in the top 10 for sure. He's in his element there, and his personality comes out. But he's overweight, right? By our standards at least, and, I guess he could be skinnier if he wanted to be. He, if he allowed it, and maybe at times he has, he could focus on that. He could go, I'm fat. And some people in his situation would use that as a reason to self-shame. I'm fat, I'm disgusting, I have no self-control, I'm rubbish at life, I don't even have the willpower to stop eating a pack of crisps. I'm just shit. And a lot of overweight people keep themselves overweight because they're ashamed. They eat food because it's the only thing that keeps that shame away for a minute or two. I don't know what the answer is, by the way. You're probably like, oh, Stefan's going to get to the point, he's going to say me. Now, I think I know the answer. I think it's understanding, especially if you're a highly sensitive person, that many times you've been rejected. People have made you question stuff about yourself. People have made you feel like you should be different because, oh, you're not like us. We're all meant to be the same. And often people don't like it when there's someone that stands out. And The real outliers are the people that are different. Because we live in a world that tries to make everyone equal, and I appreciate why, of course. I completely agree we should give women equal pay, etc. But we have differences. If you give all of the children a sports award just for partaking, you're not recognizing those that are genuinely great, that are going to go on, in the best case scenario, to become Olympians, yeah? Like, not many people become Olympic level athletes, but those that do will often be pulled down by their friends, even their family, because, hang on a minute, you're getting a bit too good. You're making me feel bad that I'm not succeeding. And I've noticed this in myself at times, yeah? You see someone that you care about, that you actually like and love, doing well, and sometimes you can be like envious, just the green-eyed monster of envy comes up and you're not happy for them. You're just jealous. You just wish it was you and you think this should be happening to me. But again, like I say, the opposite side of the scale can be that you don't feel worthy of anything, not even someone's time or attention. I've gone to job interviews in the past. One of the worst places for someone with shame is like, sell yourself to us. I'm rubbish at everything and I'm ugly and I'm shit. Like, that's how you feel, and you have to work past it. It's very difficult. So then the answer is learning to really, again, it sounds so gay, doesn't it? Like, love yourself. Like, really go, you know what, mate? You're a fucking good person. There are a lot of people that step on other people and do bad things to get to places. You would never do any of those. You're a really great person. And that's not all, you know? There are good things about you. Look at your hair today. I mean, my hair looks the same all the time right now because I fucking cut it short. But you could go, yeah, your hair looks fucking great today. Instead of comparing yourself to perfection, which is another trap we can fall in. Let me just read a few bullet points. I've probably covered a lot of this in the video already. You live with a constant feeling of inadequacy. Deep down, you believe that you are somehow defective, flawed, inferior, and unlovable. When triggered, the shameful feelings are experienced to a great intensity and last for an extended period. Like I mentioned, the meetings that I would go to, that feeling of exposure, like high-level exposure, in my mind at least, would leave me feeling just, oh. And if I did mess up, and I have, been embarrassed about stuff, just on your mind the whole day, the whole week, oh, I really messed that up. If only I had done it differently, for example. And I had another thought there, another example of the whole highly sensitive person thing and feeling different and then making yourself have a complex and be ashamed of yourself. There was a guy who I worked with for a while, and at times I thought, he's funny. Like, he's cool. He's very carefree. He did a lot of drugs. He sold drugs. He did a lot of illegal shit. But at times I thought, I really like him. He's a fucking laugh. But other times I would see a darker side to him where he could bully not just myself, but he could do some really bad stuff. I mean, you say drug dealers, I thought they were all nice people. But yeah, it was like, why is he being like this to me? Why can't he just be nice? But he's being a prick. I felt weak because he was a big guy. Like, if we had a fight, it would fucking beat me. And he knew that. So it was this kind of hierarchy complex where he was like, I know I have power over you. And I'd be speaking normally, like my voice, right, to customers. And he'd be kind of mocking me at times, going, ooh. Like, and then it just made me think, like, what's wrong with me? Like, and I'd be really conscious and I'd go and I'd try and sound more masculine. Like, yeah, how are you? Yeah, mate, yeah. You should never change yourself unless you are a cunt. But if you're a good person, and again, if you're not harming anyone, be yourself, never restrict. The film Frozen is basically based on that, right? The Disney film Frozen. She's told to conceal, don't feel, don't let your icy shit go, because we don't like that. You hurt your sister when you were younger. You're not allowed to be the Snow Queen. I like Disney films. But when she unleashes her power and she embraces it, the kind of depression, the self-hatred goes away. That's what you got to find in yourself with shame. You got to realize you have a lot of gifts, but you've sequestered them, is that a word? I feel like I'm trying to be too smart. You've pushed your talents, your skills away because other people have dismissed them and said, nah, We don't like that. Your shameful feelings can quickly spiral into more severe panic or depression. You experience extreme anxiety about being around other people. This is a good point for me. Like, this is when I was like, whoa, this is definitely my problem here. Especially those you perceive as seeing through you or as better than you. You avoid activities or opportunities that may cause shame. For example, you may reject a job promotion. Did I give that example? I gave that example, didn't I? To avoid rejection, you would rather isolate yourself than to risk connecting to other people. Again, a really good point and one to think on hard. Like, what are you doing to yourself by carrying this around? By allowing yourself to believe these things that are not true, that are not factual. You're like, oh yeah, people will automatically hate me because everyone else always has. They've always found something weird about me. And when that's in your mind, man, you will push people away. You'll be like, oh, no one wants to be around me, I don't know why. Because you don't allow anyone in anymore. You've got to the point where you're like, no, not even going to try it. Not going to get my hopes up that some people out there are going to like me and are going to be good to me. I'm just going to have these walls up all the time, these invisible walls that I'm subconsciously aware of, and I'm gonna just not connect to the outside world. And then you feel numb, depersonalized, detached from your experience, and just stuck. And so lonely. This video is getting long. I'll read a couple more points. You can read the book if you're interested. You devalue yourself before others do. Did I just do that? No, I didn't. You devalue yourself before others do, or leave a relationship before others can. And sometimes it will seem like you're joking. Now, I've seen this in other people. I'm like, oh, they're really insecure about this because they keep making self-deprecation or self-deprecating jokes like, oh, guess who's fat? Me. I'm so fat and I hate myself for it. Like, I've seen that in people. There'll be stuff in you if you have this where before someone's about to say anything, you're sensing, oh, they're going to pick on me. Like Eminem in 8 Mile, you'll just be like, no, you can't use anything against me, I've already done it to myself. But it's not a good way to live. With your defense is so high up. You react very strongly to criticism, either with rage or intense self-loathing. Yeah. Honestly, it's mad. Like, someone... Feel free. One of you could leave a nasty comment about my face now. Now you can see more of my face because my hair's not hiding it. You can go, Stefan, you're fucking... I didn't realise how ugly you were. And it can be someone who I don't know, yeah? Whose opinion should mean nothing to me. But because I already feel that way about myself, it only takes one meaningless opinion from an internet troll to go... fucking gonna kill myself, gonna delete my YouTube channel, what's the fucking point? Someone disliked my video, I've got 4 dislikes before anyone's even like, people fucking hate me, let's quit this shit. Fuck it. But I'm making a joke of it, but dead serious, like, YouTube does that to me a lot. I've been doing it a long time. If I get 100 views or less, often less, on a music video, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking sell my guitar, I fucking hate music, I'm never gonna write a song again, what's the point? No one cares. Again, I'm laughing, but it's true. Despite your outward achievements, you have a feeling that you are a fraud. Again, the imposter syndrome. And that others will reject you once they get to know the real you. Yeah, a lot of celebrities feel this way. A lot of Hollywood stars feel like they're just fucking faking it, man. Like, they're getting all these awards, but deep inside... because they never felt that way growing up or were always rejected by their peers or maybe their family in certain ways, they can't accept it. A lot of people that win the lottery, they're like, no, I'm going to spend that instantly because I shouldn't be a millionaire. That does not fit my the way I look at myself. That's pretty much it. So have a think. Again, if you're still watching this video, I'm guessing this was relevant to you. But have a think, how much is shame affecting me? And remember that shame shouldn't be there unless you've done something bad. You've got a behaviour that needs to be changed. Learn to like yourself, get off your own back, be easy on yourself. But again, expect it will take time, especially if this has been the case for you for a very long time. But just please, like me, you need to start being nice to yourself. And then the opportunities that were always there will become more visible. You'll accept stuff because you won't be living in fear that it's going to go wrong because you don't deserve it or you're not going to be able to handle it. Hope it was a good video. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.